All right, welcome back to part 2 of solving these systems of equations. I want to go over elimination method. This is the first out of 3 methods I'm going to show you, and the last, being the 4th method, is the easiest way to answer these questions. So stick with me, please. And so with this system of equation problems, you will be adding like terms. So you're going to take each of these like terms, are the x's. You're going to add them. You're going to add the y's, and you're going to add the consonant numbers here. All right, this is an elimination method, and the goal is when you add the x's or the y's, you'll end up with 0 for either the x's or the y's. That is the goal. So again, you'll be adding like terms after you manipulate either the x's or the y terms so that either the x terms or the y terms, when you add them together, is equal to 0. You're eliminating one of the x's or the y terms. And again, this is called the elimination method. So what can I do to the top and or the bottom equation that will eliminate the x's or the y's when I add them together? So for example, if I multiplied 3 times 2, that would be 6. If I multiplied 2 times 3, that would be 6. But 6 plus 6, when I add these terms together, that doesn't give me 0. That gives me 12. That gives me 12. Okay, what if I multiplied the top by a -3? And by the way, you got to distribute every term by -3, not just one, but all 3. And then I multiply each term on the bottom by 2. That would give me -6x over a +6x. What's 6 plus a -6? That's 0. I would have eliminated the x values. And then I would solve. I'd add the remaining values top and bottom and solve for y. So that's what I mean by eliminating. Or I could focus on the y values, right? What if I multiplied a -7 times 5, right? -7 times 5. And I multiplied a positive 7 times 5, right? A -5 times 7, and then a -7 times a -5, right? That would give me a -35 over a +35. And when I added all these like terms, I would eliminate the y values. Of course, I would add these two and add these two, and I would solve for x. Okay, that is the goal of elimination method. All right, that's the goal of elimination method. So let's go ahead and just jump right on into it. I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by multiplying each x term, right? Each x term by 3 on the top. And then on the bottom, I'm going to multiply each x term by a -2, right? I talked about that a moment ago. And that will eliminate, when I add these x's, that will give me 0. But I can't just multiply these values with one term. I have to distribute that 3 times each of the terms. And a -2 will be multiplied with each of the terms. Okay, that will eliminate the x's when I add them together. And so I'm showing you this now. 3 times 2x is 3 times 2x, right? I can put a plus sign between any terms. It's not going to change a thing. 3 times a -5y. I'm showing you that here. 3 times a -5y equals 3 times 15. I'm showing you that here. Then I'm going to multiply that -2 with each of these terms below. -2 times +3x. I'm showing you here. Plus -2 times a -7y. I'm showing you that here. Equals -2 times 23. I'm showing you that here. So in the next page, I'm going to show you What is 3 times 2 is 6, plus 3 times negative 5 is negative 15, equals 3 times 15 is 45. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6x, plus negative 2 times a negative 7 is a positive 14y, equals negative 2 times 23 is a negative 46. So I'd like to show you that here in this. Oh, there we go. Geez, I'm all over the place. Sorry about that. I want to show you that here. 6x plus a negative 15y equals 45. Negative 6x plus 14y equals a negative 46. Now I'm going to add the x's, add the y's, add the whole numbers, because they're like terms. If you don't know what like terms are, please check out my videos. I've made a number of videos on like term versus unlike terms. 6 plus a negative 6 is 0. That's canceled. It's gone. It's eliminated. Negative 15y plus a positive 14y is a negative 1y. Equals. 45 plus a negative 46 is negative 1. I want to get y all by itself. I will divide a negative 1 to both sides. This is my invisible 1. Negative 1 over negative 1 is a positive 1y. Equals. Negative 1 divided by a negative 1 is a positive 1. So now I know the value of y. And if I'm going too fast, please stop, pause, rewind the video, watch it again. Since I know the value of y, I'm going to essentially, after adding the like terms, we solved for y. We got y equals 1. Now you know the value of y, right? Now you know the value of y equals 1. So now I'm going to go back and choose either of the original equations, 2x minus 5y equals 15, or the 3x minus 7y equals 23. So I choose them. I can choose either one of these. I'm going to choose this first equation, as you see here. Since y equals 1, right? Y equals 1, I'm going to substitute 1 for the y in the equation. I could have chosen this one and just substituted y in this equation and solved for x. You can choose either one. So here, I'm going to simplify. Negative 5 times 1 is a negative 5. All right. I rewrite my 2x equals 15. Now, I want to get x by itself, so I do the opposite of a negative 5, and that's a positive 5. Add 5 to both sides. What you do to the left side, you got to do to the right side. And that eliminates the 5 on the left side of the equal sign. I'm left with 2x equals 15 plus 5 is 20. So 2x equals 20. 15 plus 5 is 20. Now I do the inverse and the opposite to get rid of the 2. That's to divide 2 to both sides. So 2 divided by 2 is that 1x. 20 divided by 2, and I'm showing you that here, equals 10. Equals 10. So, again, 2 divided by 2 is 1x. 20 divided by 2 is x equals 10. But guess what? I'm not done yet. I know. There's so much work to do. But you must check both x and y values by substituting them into both original equations in order to make sure those values work. So what I would gonna do a little bit later on in my alternative videos here in this series, I will substitute 10 for x and 1 for y into both equations. And if one side equals the other side, I have the correct answers. I can choose those answers as my final answer. So stick with me. I've got a couple more methods I'm going to show you. Thank you for joining me. Math is easy. Take it step by step. If I've gone too fast, stop, pause, rewind, watch it again. Thank you for joining me. If this was helpful, please like, follow, and share these videos.